Yo, what is going on, guys? So a couple videos ago, I got asked if I could show the apartment gym, like just show everything that's in it. And it's a very small gym, so it's nothing crazy. It actually is pretty decent for an apartment gym, though. Everything in here is Paramount, and the dumbbells are actually, I can't remember, Ivanko, I think, like the real old school, like steel dumbbells. So those go up to 50. So I'm going to show you guys around, and then I'm actually going to just get my full workout in here. I figured while I'm showing the apartment gym, I'll show that, if you have a decently equipped one like I do, you can actually get a really, really good productive workout in. It doesn't have to stop you from, making progress. Now, look, on legs or something like that, yeah, that's probably not going to be a possibility. On chest, depending what you have, you probably can't do that either. But things like arms, for sure you can. And in this particular gym, I can 100% do back. Like, I could do back for the rest of my career at this apartment gym and progress my back. So let me show you guys everything in here real quick before the workout gets started. So right here, 2 cardio bikes. I think those are like spin bikes. I don't actually use these because they hurt my ass sitting on there for like 30 plus minutes. Honestly, 10 plus minutes is just brutal enough. Elliptical machine. So I actually use this for my cardio right now. Gonna use this for the entirety of my prep as well. A regular recumbent bike. This is what I used last prep. This one's really good, really like it, super comfortable to sit in. You can sit in there for well over an hour, totally fine, which I did last prep. Then 2 treadmills. These are Life Fitness. They're brand new, they just got replaced. So these are actually really awesome. I mean, they have a bunch of features that I don't use. I just use them for steps, but pretty cool, pretty, brand new here. Going over to the dumbbells, like I said, Ivanko dumbbells are actually, yeah, they are, okay. And it goes from, what are those, 5s? Those are actually 2.5s on each side, so those are 5s. All the way up to 50s here. They also some random stuff, 45, 25, 210s. I use both of these for gym pinning some of the stuff in here because the stacks are pretty light on these machines. Paramount, what is this? A preacher curl, machine preacher curl. They also have a Paramount overhead press or tricep extension. Sorry. This is the overhead press. Let's see, get it in the mirror. So this is the OHP Paramount. Everything in here is Paramount, which is kind of crazy. Then we got the hamstring curl. So this is what I use for my leg days. Then we have a seated chest press machine right here. This one's really good too. I do use this one. And then a leg extension. I don't use leg extensions because I don't technically have them in my programming, but another good one right there. And then we have this like cable stack in the middle. So it has a lat pull down right there. You can attach some different things to there. We got this stack here, which is the heavier stack. You can do tricep press downs or whatever you want. I'm gonna do unilateral cable pull downs on that to start my workout. Then we have the other cable stack, a little lighter, but you can still do the same stuff on it. And then a row or like a bench for any type of cable row you wanna do here. Stack is also pretty heavy. So that's a nice thing about, it's odd, the Paramount stack here, this is very heavy, whereas all the Paramount machines, the stacks are actually light. So a bit odd in that manner there, how Paramount designed them. But yeah, as far as an apartment gym goes, this one is actually really, really nice. I think that they probably thought they were getting a deal on this Paramount equipment, like it was probably cheap or something like that. Ironically though, these pieces are really, really good. And that's what you'll find with a lot of old school pieces, a lot of old school Hammer Strength or Cybex or Paramount Body Masters. They likely go for cheaper than new equipment. So people that don't really know what they're buying, right? You know, someone who's putting a gym in an apartment isn't going to be, you know, a hardcore bodybuilder putting in like, I really need to get these great pieces in here. Probably saw the Paramount and was like, wow, these are all super cheap and I can, you know, outfit the apartment gym with this and get a good deal on it. Ironically, that they just happen to be very, very good pieces. Now the cardio equipment is actually something that it looks like they did probably spend a decent amount of money on, which is typical of like a commercial gym. That's how a commercial gym is designed, right? They usually have crap pieces in there or really old pieces that they don't know are actually good because they try to get everything for as cheap as possible. But then you'll go to like the cardio and it's like brand new. Everything's less than like 5 years old. So that's kind of the model that they use, and I think they used it here. They just ended up getting lucky. My LA Fitness, that's like 5 minutes from my house, same thing, and it's the exact same thing. They have old school Cybex pieces in there, old school Nautilus pieces, old school Hammer Strength, and I think it's just because they probably got a good deal on it and they have no idea like how valuable those pieces actually are. Now I'm gonna get into my workout. I'm not going to do a like mic'd up type workout. Maybe I will because the gym is so quiet here, but there's some issue with my microphone that I've been having. I think it's the connector cable, to be honest. It sounds really weird. It sounds like I'm in a cave when I'm talking into it, and I've used the mic before in previous videos and it sounded perfectly fine. So I think it's the connector cable. I ordered a new one to see if that will fix it. But yeah, the last couple of videos that I've released, I've been very disappointed with the sound quality coming from that mic. And I know it's not a bad mic. So I'm almost 100% positive that it's the connector. So get that new one and kind of see how that goes. Now, I'll likely do a voiceover on this. If somebody comes in here, because I don't want to be just like talking really loudly while somebody's trying to do something and I'm recording myself like a weirdo. But if nobody comes in here, maybe I will talk during the workout and just, you know, keep this live. But for today, I got unilateral cable pull downs, which I'm gonna show you right after this and get into it. Straight bar cable rows, then a unilateral row, and then I think it's a neutral grip pull down. And that's gonna wrap up this entire back day. I think I have rear delts. I have to check my sheet, so I might have rear delts, but then that would be it. So I'm gonna get into it now. All right, no one's in the gym, so at least for now. So I'll talk over these. This is my first working set. 3 working sets here today total. 2 in the 8 to 12 rep range, and then 1 in the 12 to 15. So never used this stacked before on my warm-ups. I'm pretty sure this is the weight that I'll be able to land in the 8 to 12. So gonna give it a go, see how it goes. Okay, so that ended up being the right weight. Gonna go to the left side, match those reps, and then 2 sets after that. feels good. Do another set without it. All right, so one thing I've noticed about this cable stack, I haven't used this before, is that it's super smooth. So either they do good maintenance on this thing, which they might, because there's been some stuff that's been broken here before and they fix it fast. But it could also be that nobody uses these things. So the cables just, you know, they aren't ruined. But yeah, really nice to work out on a cable stack that's super smooth. Okay. Yep. Nope. Ooh. Okay. Couldn't quite get that last one. Move on to the left side. The bench is a little, it's like a little light and flimsy. I feel like this weight is almost pulling me off of the floor because of how flimsy this bench is. Okay. So, two really good sets there. Probably drop it like 2 pins, because my next set, my last set, I want to keep in like the 12 to 15 rep range, so I want to make sure I don't go too light. I do have the habit of doing that sometimes on like a stack I'm not used to. I err on the side of getting a little bit more reps. I think for this one I have a pretty good handle of the weight of the stack though, through all my warm-ups and how this feels right here. So I'll drop the 2 pins and then I'll go into that last set. All right, so got 14, pretty much what I'm aiming for there. Go to the left side and finish up.
All right, so there ended up being a bunch of people coming in, and by a bunch of people, I mean I think there was like 3 or 4 people that came in like directly after I finished that set. It was so weird. Within 5 minutes of finishing that set, 4 people had entered the gym, and I showed in the beginning of the gym or the beginning of the video how small this gym is. So 4 people in there, I was like, I can't like continue talking over these sets or going on about them while there's that many people in there. Not to mention, I didn't have my microphone with me because I kind of planned on doing a voiceover the whole time because I figured there'd be at least one person in there doing cardio or lifting or something. So didn't have my mic with me anyways. And yeah, the gym is it's actually so loud in there because it's so small. So when somebody else is in there, you just notice how loud it is. Like you notice how loud the cardio equipment is. You notice how squeaky the machines are when some guy's on it. Um, you just notice so many little sounds that you don't normally notice in a like regular gym because the gym is playing music or the environment in itself is relatively loud, so all the sounds kind of blend together. But when you're in a quiet place like this, and like this guy right here, you can kind of see the elliptical on the side of the on the side of the screen there. That thing is so loud when nothing else is going on. It was kind of surprising actually. So ended up going with a voiceover for the last half of this video. But as you can see, this apartment gym it's pretty well kitted. I mean, for an apartment gym, I'd be hard pressed to find something better than this. I'm sure some exist, but having those cardio pieces there, like just the variety of cardio pieces in themselves, and then having all Paramount equipment is pretty wild. Like usually what I would expect in a commercial, I shouldn't call this a commercial gym, it's an apartment gym, would be like matrix pieces or some other like totally I don't want to call them a garbage company, but they're made for commercial gyms. Like they're not made nothing those machines are not made for bodybuilders. They're just made for recreational lifting. So the fact that this gym has all Paramount is pretty crazy. Um, the cable machines are super smooth. I think I might have touched on this in the beginning of the video, but I think it's partially just because nobody uses nobody uses this stuff. Um, so everything just works like it's brand new, and they may do maintenance as well. I don't know, but either way, I'm able to get in, as you can see here, I can get in a back session that's just as productive as something in the gym. So this is something you can do too at like apartment gym or not apartment gyms, at hotel gyms if you're traveling, things like that. Now, they probably won't be kitted to this extent, right? But you can 100% have like a really good arm session or a really good shoulder session. Some hotel gyms will even have like a Smith machine. You could do an entire productive workout on a Smith machine if you had to. So, one of the reasons I wanted to show this, me working out in here was for one, because, somebody asked to have a, kind of mini tour of this apartment gym. And second is to show that you, where there is a will, there is a way. You can make things work. It's not always going to be the most optimal, best case scenario situation, but that doesn't mean that it has to stop you or impede you from working towards whatever it is that you're working towards. So for this workout, first exercise was that unilateral pull down there. That went really well. The only annoying part about that was that bench was really light. That was like I don't know, like a very flimsy type bench. I swear it. when I was picking it up to move it around, the thing felt like it weighed like 3 pounds. I was like, what is this? Either way, it got the job done. I would say that was the only drawback there. Then went into straight bar cable rows. That was super productive there. And then came into these unilateral cable rows. Now, what you can see here is pretty interesting about that. These old school pieces have a lot of adjustments that you can do that new equipment doesn't have. You see how there's a pin on this pulley? So you can move the pulley up and down, which is really awesome depending on what part of the back you're trying to hit. Like you could lower that cable all the way to that bottom pin if you really want to, depending on your height, right? If you really want to be able to drive your elbow more into your hip. Or if you want to pull more into your upper back, like on that straight bar cable row, right? So it's adjustable in that manner. At my regular gym, it's also similar. You can't adjust the cable, but you can adjust the seat height, which basically does the same thing. Now, in most commercial pieces or just most new pieces today, they don't allow for that at all. You can't adjust the cable height and you can't adjust the seat height. And I'm talking about on these like um, cable stacks, or I'm not exactly sure what these things are called, but I'm sure you guys know what I'm talking about just from seeing me use this. So it's interesting how I almost feel like in certain aspects, gym equipment was more innovative like 20 years ago, although there are some pieces nowadays that are great with like Prime, right? That's considered pretty innovative. However, if you actually look at Prime, it's, I think they bought out Strive or something like that, or they bought all the Strive designs. It was something along those lines, right? And Strive equipment is actually, again, like 20 years old, maybe older, but it has the same thing. It has resistance profiles built into the machine based on like what pegs you're doing. So even Prime isn't really new. It's just essentially refurbished. But yeah, it's interesting to look at the gym equipment from a long time ago. It seems like there was more thought put into it. And I think that's because working out back then was even more niche than it is now. Like the only people you saw in the gym back then were bodybuilders, weightlifters, like, Chinese weightlifters, Olympic weightlifters, maybe some power lifters. But even athletes back then didn't even lift. Like that wasn't a thing. And so I think the commercialization of the gym and how popular it's now become has actually led to a lot of pieces not having as much thought put into them, because I think they're probably not being made by bodybuilders, which is, back in the days, that's kind of what it was. It was people very interested in working out were making these machines. Whereas nowadays it's more about like turning a profit and making money. So it's just an interesting thing to look back on. After the unilateral rows, I went into this neutral grip pull down. So this handle is actually better than the handle at my gym. Again, everything here is paramount. Even this handle is paramount. That unilateral row that I was doing, that handle says Paramount on it. It's like they went into some like abandoned Paramount warehouse and just grabbed some stuff and just equipped this gym with it. But yeah, this is slightly better than the one at my gym for the neutral grip pull down, because the neutral grip is a little bit wider. What you want in a neutral grip is you want it wide enough so that, like, realistically, it'd be better if this was even a little bit wider. Um, but you want it wide enough so that you're able to really drive your elbows into your side. And ideally, I'd want my elbows a little bit more separated at the top too. But it's not a super big deal. And again, like, you have to work with what you're given, right? And so this handle is ironically a little bit better than the one at my gym. It could still be improved. But overall, super solid piece right here. And this was 4 sets, I think. But yeah, overall, very, very productive workout here. Everything felt good. Um, this will be, yeah, this is my last set right here. So, again, just wanted to show that you can be productive in settings that you think are not going to be productive or are perhaps not the best in terms of the tools that you have at hand, but you can make anything work. So I'm gonna wrap this up one right here. I don't think there's anything to really go over. It's just another back session. And yeah, I'll wrap it up right here. I appreciate anybody watching this. Anybody who comments, likes the video, any type of support like that, I always appreciate it. And I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace.